Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quona Terry.
and we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. We have an amazing show for you, just like every night, like every show. But first of all, I would like to say hello and welcome back to my amazing co-host, Shaquana Terry. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's good to be back. You know me, always running around doing stuff. So I'm happy I'm back and in the sack, ready in the saddle, ready to take on the rest of the world. You know what we gonna do today, Pinky? What? Taking over
We
the
gonna take over the world.
world. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. So thank you. It's so great to see you again, and you look so beautiful.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. How has your week
So,
been?
my week has been long but great. How about yours?
Yeah, it's Thursday, and I'm so happy that we're almost to the weekend. Of course, I have an action-packed weekend again. Um,
Okay.
so, I'm just happy to be back and just do what I love. So, and I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like Nicole said, we have a wonderful show lined up for you. For starters, on I believe it was September 13th, the day after my birthday, our girl, our Fenty Beauty, our icon in her own right, Rihanna, she actually had a baby girl. Woo!
We love that. She finally
Yes.
has her girl, and she is gorgeous.
Oh gosh, I know they have the pictures of her on the on social media, and it's like, look at her, such a beauty.
She is so gorgeous. Well, I
Right?
mean, Rihanna is gorgeous herself, so we're not shocked that her baby girl came out just beautiful. Okay, she's just look at her hair. Oh my god.
It's just having a baby, just being able to do that and produce a life is such an amazing thing in itself. So I'm happy that she finally has her girl, and ASAP Rocky. I know he is ecstatic as well. And you know what? That's his girl too. Usually it's daddy's girl. So we'll see what happens as time goes by, but I'm so happy for them. I believe her name is Rocky Irish Mayer, right?
Mhm.
I think that's her name, and it's so fitting. I love that she included her significant other's name in there as well. We just kind of like to play on that. I'm like, that's amazing. So congratulations once again, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, on the birth of your beautiful little girl, your beautiful Virgo. Gang gang. Gang gang.
A September Virgo at that.
Nice. So then she's gonna be everything. Who we got? Beyonce, we have Michael Jackson, we have me. Like what? What's up? We have Kobe. Okay, come on. Well, what? The proof is in the pudding, okay?
That part.
Congratulations to Rihanna and ASAP.
Oh,
Oh God, this is just so
oh my
adorable.
goodness. Just want
So,
to eat her up. I
yeah,
know. Oh,
it's so yummy, so yummy. We're That's the celebration, but we're also celebrating somebody's return to late night TV, right, Nicole? What's going on with that?
oh my goodness. So I know everyone's heard about what went on with Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. It's ridiculous how the president of the United States can have anything to say about someone saying something on TV. Yeah, last time I checked, freedom of speech, freedom of press, right? So
Mm-hmm.
why did Jimmy Kimmel end up getting taken off the air because he made a statement about Trump when they was talking about Charlie Kirk?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel I think he actually is not the only one. Remember, um, and I don't remember the lady's name, but she was a part of the Obama administration, and Roseanne Barr made a comment about her, something about her being a cross between a monkey and something else. It was
I
bananas.
remember
I would have to
that.
look it up for the facts about it, but I remember her show Roseanne being canceled. She was like
Right.
laughing this thing. So the fact that he's back on right now
Yeah.
is like wow. But you know, it is could be a double standard, but
No, no, no. So what happened with Roseanne was
mhm.
pretty bad. It was pretty racist.
Yeah, it was really
Jimmy Kimmel, all
mhm.
he did, you know how they stand up when they doing a show, they stand up and they make their little jokes before the show starts, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So all he did was show the clip where Trump was being interviewed by some reporters.
Okay.
And they asked him a question in regards to Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sorry. Charlie Kirk's demise.
Uh-huh.
And Trump did not answer the question. But what he did was, when he did answer the question, he said he was talking about something far left, something that had nothing to do with what they asked him. Okay, so Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about that, like yeah, he's really sad about Charlie Kirk's death.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he need to get taken off the air for that? Trump did not, and I'm gonna say this again. Trump did not answer the reporter's question. So he should have said, yeah, I kind of messed up on that one. He got me there.
Right. He's mad because
That's it.
people actually brought attention to it and mocked him for it. So, he's such a kid, like on the playground, right? Like, he's so annoying. It's like a kid on the playground. Here's Jimmy Kimmel here. Because, Lord, I forgot to move it. I'm on. Hey, Jimmy, welcome back. But Trump, President Trump is such a kid in that way, right? Like, just because someone says something that you do not like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm going to take this from you. I'm going to exercise my power to be able to do that. I feel like it's an abuse of power, but listen, it's in true.
It definitely is.
It's in true President Trump fashion. Abuse of power all the way around. Does things just because he can. Even if he can't, he'll still try to do it,
Oh my
So
gosh.
welcome back, Jimmy. We are excited to have you back. From what I understand, over 6 million viewers tuned in for his return.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because man, where was it? There was a shooting in regards to Jimmy not going live. Where did I? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. As you can see, we are live.
A shooting.
Yes, there was a shooting, and they were mad that Jimmy was not going live that day.
What?
I was like, all because of Trump. And I'm like, okay, so good. And look, now he's back. He just got back. What was it? Tuesday night. Tuesday night he got back. He went back on air.
Tuesday night. And what I heard was that where Charlie Kirk was shot, I guess Nashville. He
was shot in Utah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. They could not air. He could not. They didn't air him in a place, and I don't know if that was where Charlie Kirk is from or what. I'll have to look it up. I don't want to give incorrect details, but I believe they did not air Jimmy Kimmel's return in that area. Hold on 1 minute. I'm gonna look it up. I'm thinking not.
But Jimmy Kimmel didn't say anything bad. Listen, they are killing me because listen, I do not agree with the way Charlie Kirk was taken down. I don't agree with it at all. But let's be clear here. He was not for us. He actually thought African Americans or anyone that was not a Caucasian was actually dumb. He made a statement that if he got on a plane and if it was a African American pilot, basically he would be afraid to fly on that plane. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, no.
Doesn't make sense. What does the color of your skin got to do with your ability to fly a plane?
Yo, that's crazy.
Oh, child.
Yeah, so just to go back to what I was saying, um, it was not aired in Nashville.
Oh, it was Nashville. Okay.
It was Nashville. It was not aired in Nashville. They decided against it. Um, that's owned by Nexstar Media Group, which has other ties in with other different conglomerates. So that's that. And then now Trump said, like, I heard ABC fake news gave Jimmy his job back. Like, he's gonna sue. He's gonna doctor up another lawsuit because of his return. And Jimmy Kimmel is like, listen, the president of the United States is doing all of this. This is really bullying. Now he's coming after journalists because he can't even take a joke, right? Like, so you're complaining about, or your stance is that, you know, Americans need to. You're here to give Americans their jobs back, and this, that, and the third. But you're trying to take it from journalists because of them not agreeing with you. That's not how this works. That's why, like you said before, freedom of speech, freedom of press. This is why we have those rights and liberties. Like, come on. And Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian first. Like, come on. He's going to say things that are offensive at times. But listen, you laugh about it and you move on. Like, you don't get butthurt and then go and, like, so like, you're the president of the United States. Could you worry about keeping us safe and stop worried about Jimmy Kimmel and his off the wall commentary? No, please worry about keeping this country safe. Like,
you just said it right there. You just hit it on the nail, right there on the head, right there.
Life.
The president should not be worrying about talk show hosts.
No.
The president is supposed to be worrying to make sure that our country does not get bombed, that our soldiers are safe, and everything else that goes into that category.
Yes,
when it comes to interest like this, sir, stay in your lane, okay? This ain't got nothing to do with you. You shouldn't be worried about none of this. And if you don't want no one to talk about you, then do what you're supposed to be doing correctly, okay? Listen before responding.
I was like, this man is insane, but you know, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more to come because Trump is saying he's gonna sue ABC, you know, and I'm like, stop, sir. I feel like there are no grounds for that. You're doing it unjustly, and you know, I don't think that's gonna hold up in court, you know. And it just
where was the lie?
There
was no lie.
It takes away from what's really going on. This is like a diversion from what's really happening behind the scenes, you know?
Okay.
So like, I just want America to pay attention to what's really happening behind the scenes. Like, all of this stuff is smoke and mirrors, okay? Pay attention to what's really going on behind the scenes so that, you know, you have elections coming up, you have primaries, you have all those different types of elections in certain states coming up. Let your voice be heard there. Then don't focus on what's happening right now. Someone decided to voice their opinion. Whatever.
I can't.
Insane. All right, so we do have another update in regards to Charlie Kirk. And if you don't know who Charlie Kirk was was the American political activist, also the co-founder of the show Turning Point USA, who was assassinated, I believe, on September 10th, 2025. And he was assassinated. He was assassinated, from what many people speculate, due to his views in regards to certain policies and certain American freedoms. So I guess someone didn't like it and they assassinated him. I don't want to get too far into that because he has so many things that I didn't agree with, but I feel like a life shouldn't be taken because you don't agree with certain policies and views. So Unfortunately, that's what happened to this man. Actually, the person that gunned him down, actually believed in the same thing that Charlie Kirk believed in, right? So I'm like, these are the same civil liberties you didn't even want to, you wanted to protect. So this guy did this. Yeah, he did what he needed to do when it came to that. So with that being said, there's talks about Charlie Kirk's death being memorialized, and there's going to be a day that the nation observes his memorial. And Nicole, you can kind of touch on that a little bit more.
So apparently, October 14th is the day that Charlie Kirk's birth, right? Yes, the day that's his birthday. So they're talking about observing that day for the remembrance for him. But what I don't understand is, as you can see on the screen, it is also George Floyd's birthday. And I don't understand why we need to have this day to, you know, to remember him by, or even didn't they lower the flag for him as well?
They flew at a halftime. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you thinking?
I think that I don't agree with the way he was taken down. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
was he assassinated? Yes. Um, I don't agree with his views, but I do think that because my thing is he has a whole wife and kids, and no matter if I didn't agree with what he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with how he died, right? But should we have lowered the flag for his death? No. Should we have should we use this date as an observe how you say it?
In
Observe
observance.
this day for his birthday? No. I mean for no. You didn't do it for George Floyd or anyone else that passed away, to gun violence. So why do it for him? Why is there a different standard? Because what? Who is this man?
Yeah, I feel like he's not that influential for me to be like, okay, I want to recognize him. He caused a lot of discord, chaos, and confusion in a lot of ways with his rhetoric that he was pushing. So I don't know if I agree with that. I am all for people, wherever he's from, right? Hey, do something in his hometown that would, be able to recognize him in that way. But to do a national thing, I'm not in agreement with that at all. I'm just not. And I see the October 14th date, pure coincidence, right? Pure coincidence, right?
That's a crazy coincidence.
It is. But I feel as if, you know, those people suggesting that this be a day of remembrance for him or a day to observe him because of his death. I think that people should be sensitive to how people feel about George Floyd, and and Charlie Kirk had made some comments about George Floyd. He did say, this guy's a scumbag. Yes, but do I agree that he should have, died in this matter? Of course not. So he did make some, comments about George Floyd that seemed to be indicative of him not agreeing with how he passed away. But still, like, again, this observance or this what they're bringing up should definitely be done somewhere in his hometown. I don't think it should be anything national. It's like, what? I don't think that he did enough on a national level to even have that type of day to of remembrance. I don't think he was that influential.
So I agree with what you're saying right here. If it's in his hometown, I understand why they would want to do that in his hometown. But like you said, nationally, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, he was born in Arlington Heights, Illinois. Go over there. Look, go over there. Go to Arlington Heights, Illinois, and you do a whole thing over there, and have people come out there for that. But for it to be a national thing, and we all have to, were you flying the flag at half mast? Like, sir, God. So I don't agree with that, but I'm pretty sure that there are going to be many petitions going around.
No, it's so crazy because
Already,
I was like, is he military? Was he military? I was like, hold on, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't even really know who he was. Like I recognized his face, but I didn't know his name. And because when I hear stupidity, I literally change. I don't need to listen.
Yeah.
When I hear something that's being said that doesn't even make sense, I just change the channel or swipe up, swipe left. Doesn't matter to me. There's going to be somebody's going to want to hear what you got to say, but that's just not me.
Yeah.
Okay. But for them to do that for who he is, listen, no.
I mean, he was, more so like a political activist, and Turning Point USA had a lot of rhetoric that was pro DT, right? So
okay,
it's like, oh, let me do this because it's a day of mourning. It's a day of sadness because he was assassinated. It happened on American soil and it happened at a college campus. So I understand that, but a whole day,
no.
So it is what it is. So moving on to the next topic, I'm sure we'll hear more about that and the amount of backlash they're going to get, or even opposition regarding it. So, all right. So we're going to keep moving forward. This is kind of a sensitive topic for a lot of people. Men, mostly men. Kind of a sensitive topic, so we're gonna go into this because I feel that in this climate it's definitely needed and we need to have a conversation surrounding it. So we're gonna go into that topic right now. All right, so there is a topic, or just like I would say a phenomenon going around right now, and a lot of it has been publicized. Some of it, is kept quiet. But that we were talking about the T app a couple of months ago, and a lot of people revealing certain things about people and about men in particular. And the most pressing topic I see was down low men. Men who, and if you don't know what a down low man is, that's something that a term that made up in like the Black and brown communities, right? Somebody who likes to have intercourse with the same sex secretly, and sometimes having a family or girlfriend, whatever it may be. Some of their sexual trysts are actually hidden from family, friends, and significant others. So we're talking about that because there's so much stuff going on right now, and a lot of people don't think that is something that should be revealed. A lot of men don't feel like that should something that should be revealed to unsuspecting partners. There has been talk about and worry, especially if you're on a T app. They're talking about men who they found out that are down low, and that their worries or concerns are the transmission of HIV, other sexual transmitted diseases, and things of that nature. Nicole, what do you think?
So we've been hearing about men on the DL for years now.
Long time. Mm-hmm.
For years. I do think that it's very dangerous because, like you just said, and when it comes to STDs, when it comes to HIV and AIDS, like even,
Yeah.
You're putting your family at risk. Like, I don't understand why if a man decides that he wants, or even a woman, if, oh, I mean, we're talking about men here. So if
Hmm.
a man decides that he, likes to entertain other men, I feel that he should tell the person that he is dealing with, you know. Um, if she chooses to stay with you or whatever the case may be, that's it. That's just it is what it is. But you can't go around having sex with both your wife or your girlfriend and a man.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, it definitely is, and I feel that we now are living in an age of fluidity, right? And a lot of people are in polyamorous relationships, and they're not being they don't want to put a title on their gender, right? They don't so you have and you also have a lot of transgender men
Hmm.
who have gone through the change maybe 75% of the time, but they still have their member, right? And then
Hmm.
you have men who are like, okay, she looks like a woman, acts like a woman, she just has that, she still has her eggplant. He still has the eggplant though. That's really not, or from the outside, it looks like this person is a woman, but I know as a man that she isn't. Does that make you a DL man? Does that make you, I would say, gay? Does
Yes.
that make you,
If you know that if you know that the transgender is a transgender, then yes, that makes you a DL man.
okay.
But remember, I was telling you before about the story about those two men who was also transgenders. They was from Maryland and
Okay.
they moved down to Atlanta. One of them actually got killed. They actually got, unalived. I'm sorry. They unalived that person because they were going around sleeping with these men. They looked like real women. I mean, they were gorgeous. They still
Mhm.
had their member, okay? But when they was interacting with these men, they would have the light off and they will always do it, on their fours, from behind.
Mm.
So the men didn't know, they were really dealing with a man.
I don't know, cause like,
Now,
okay, without getting too graphic, okay, and I'm trying to put it into, uh, if there, if there is, okay, you on, okay, all fours,
hmm
is something slapping against your, you
girl, I
can
don't
hear
know.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't
I'm
know.
not a man, so I don't know. What that is like back there. Like, but
hmm
I don't know. I just unless they have it taped or something. But and
I
even
don't
in that,
know.
like I don't know,
I
child.
don't know because they made a whole movie about them, and it was a lot of men they slept with.
Oh wow.
It was a lot, and I'm not talking about men that went that way. I'm talking about straight men. There was a lot of straight men, and the reason why they left Maryland because everyone knew who they were. They knew them when they was a boy, and then when they started turning or whatever, and went down to Atlanta, turned a lot of, and they did it right too. They turned a lot of men out. Them men were paying their rent, buying them cars, giving them money, everything.
No, the men knew what the deal was. They were put up on game. They were just mad that it came out that it was them.
No, the man that found out he was a I want to say he was like a gang member, or he was just maybe just real just thuggish. Okay, when he found out from the streets that the person that he had relations with was really a man, he came back in retaliation, him and his friends, and that's how one of them was unalived.
Mhm.
And how she ended up becoming unalived, mind you, she ended up getting married to one of the men who actually the man was like that, but he was a man but liked men. But because and they married each other, right?
Okay.
So she was living out. She went to what? She moved out to California and was only came back to Atlanta because her friend was getting married. So one of them got sliced on the face, and the other one, it was died due to gun violence. the one that did it to her was the one that, the thuggish guy.
Oh,
So
dang. I gotta look up this. I gotta look this story up
yeah,
because
it's a sad
wow.
situation. Yeah, it's a sad situation, but
Mm,
I think it's touch and go. It's when it comes to a transgender. I think you supposed, especially, I think you should always let the person know if you're a man or woman, okay? Because it becomes very dangerous. But also in regards to DL men, like no one's judging you for your preference. If you like men and women, that's your preference. It's okay. But you can't go around, having relations with both, men and women and not letting the other know anything, especially when it's unprotected.
listen, I know one thing, and from my experience, if a man is overly masculine, if a man literally does so much to women, like he hates the woman,
Woo-hoo.
if he talks about, if somebody just keeps talking about women, they have a bad taste in their mouth for women and stuff like that. I already know. I listen. I already know because like some men get on my nerves, but I'm not going bashing men and like
Mhm.
that's the first thing out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a man who does that is either hates themselves, has an insecurity about who they are, they confused about who they are, and then they want to take it out on the women because they may be the weaker species, right? So
Right.
anybody that does that, I'm like, yeah, you in a low boo, but it's okay. Like just own up to it. It's okay. We will accept you. We're so accepting
Sure.
of everyone, but it's like the problem is, like I said, they don't know who they are, so they're not even accepting of themselves.
Well, we can say this. If you decide that you like to backdoor another man, sweetheart, you're bisexual. Okay? You are bisexual, and that is okay.
That is
If you like women and men, it is okay. But it's the DL men that we got problems with. Because y'all sit up here and y'all will have a whole life, kids, living this amazing life, but then want to go skip to your loo to some man's house.
why they gotta skip though.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why do you need to keep it on the DL? Like, if you like it, you like it. It's okay, boo boo.
Period. Just let it be what it's gonna be. I think it's like I said, a lot of these machismo men, right? They don't want people to know that that's what they're into, and it's like
Mhm.
you're doing yourself a disservice. If you want to bend over, do your thing, sir. Do it. Like it's
It's
okay.
okay.
You know.
It's
No one's
okay.
going to tell you how to live your life, and I think there are many cases where people are ashamed about telling their family, friends, and stuff like that because they don't want to be ostracized. And I get that. I understand it. It's hard, but I think it's even harder living a life that you don't want. You
Right. You
know,
gotta be true to yourself.
yeah, be true to yourself. So, and I think that's the end of that, right? That's the end of that segment. Be true to yourself. Let your peoples know how you're feeling. Let them know what your preference is and stand on business. Stand 10 toes down on your decision to be who you want to be.
That
Yeah.
part.
So, another great episode of Real Conversation. Again, my name is Shaquana Terry, but also known as Quana Terry.
And I'm Nicole Jones.
And you can catch us on YouTube every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at real_convos_podcast. We also premiere live on Facebook on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Where can they find us, Nicole?
At Real Conversations and Real Conversations 2021.
All right. So thank you so much for watching. And God bless.